using to get used to those resources. I am going to link to the chat, the walk-in sheet. So if you registered on PD Central for the afternoon 12 to 3 Monday session, you do not have to sign the walk-in sheet. I will take attendance multiple times throughout to make sure we get everybody's name that was here. If you are walking in, if you will open up the walk-in sheet and add your information, I'm posting it in the chat now, that will allow you to get PD credit even if you did not register on PD Central. All right. If you have any questions throughout, go ahead and put them in the chat. I will try to get to them as quickly as possible. I am doing this one solo, so I may have to just pause throughout. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, welcome to Navigating the JCPS Gifted and Talented Resources. I am Lindsay Darwick. If you've been with us this morning, I might have seen some of you already. I am a gifted itinerant teacher for the district. I work in 4 elementary schools throughout Monday through Thursday. I work at a different one each day, working with identification as well as supporting gifted learners. So I will pull groups or push in. And then on Fridays, I work out of the gifted office with professional development, going into schools and helping them with identification or service plans. We are starting every presentation going over the requirements just so that everyone is on the same page about PD requirements and making sure that you get credit for the sessions that you attend. So if you are at this session, you have either signed up or are joining us by walking into the Monday afternoon session that runs from 12 to 3. So you are required to attend 2 presentations within that time block to get your 2 hours. So if you're attending this one, you need to attend either a second one at 1 or join Colin Seal at 2. If you attend 3-hour sessions, 3 of the sessions, then you are more than welcome to do that, but you will only get 2 hours of credit. Oh, you can't see my screen. Thank you for letting me know. There we go. All right. So if you are a walk-in, you still have to attend 2 sessions within the 12 to 3 block to get your 2 hours. But if you you only need to sign the walk-in sheet if you are not registered on PD Central. I hope that clarifies that question. All right, so I want to see who is here. So introduce yourself by telling me 3 things in the chat box. If you'll tell me your position within JCPS, your school or your location, and then your current confidence level with gifted identification and services, with a 1 being I know nothing about this, and 5 being I feel like an expert on identification and services. I've already shared my position in JCPS. My schools that I work at right for the next school year are Kenwood, Medora, J-Town, and Watterson Elementary. So we have a lot of 2s and 3s, so middle of the road. I like it. Thank you all for your honesty. And we have a wide variety of representation across grade levels. Okay, so this session is pretty informal. I'm gonna kind of give you a preview of 4 resources that we have available out of the gifted office. And then I'm gonna allow you all to do a scavenger hunt to kind of investigate and look through some of the own and see what needs that you have. So we have 4 main resources. Now, JCPS has a gifted and talented and advanced program website on their site, but that is not run by us. Like all of the JCPS website is run by someone above me. And so there are a few resources there, but they're very minimal. So if you're looking for specific resources for identification or servicing and things like that, these are your kind of go-tos. So we recently created a Google site to try and be kind of a one-stop shop where there are links to just about everything JCPS gifted and talented. And so at the top, it is sorted kind of by the areas of giftedness. So we have primary talent pool, and then all 5 areas have their own kind of tab. We have our living calendar that we have also started this year. I know a lot of schools are using those, and so we wanted to kind of get in with that. And so on our living calendar, we will put like PD opportunities, we'll put like deadlines for our GT leads, our BACs, our counselors, and then specific things that teachers need to know. We have highlighted some opportunities for gifted students, as well as linked resources for your school's gifted team, and then just general kind of resources down here as well. So each page, I'm going to just go to one of them real quick. Each page kind of defines the area of giftedness. It last winter and before COVID, we were doing weekly Zooms mainly for APs and counselors and principals, but we did a Zoom for identification and then one for servicing, and those are all linked. So if you are needing help with how to identify in a certain area or how to service those students that are already identified, then those are linked here as well. I'm going to pause really quick. Somebody's asked me to link the slides. There you go. And so there, and then at the very bottom there is evidence documents for each area that link to specific resources that can be used for identification. So looks very similar for each area of giftedness. The next thing is our Google Drive. A lot of the links from the Google site will take you directly into our Google Drive to specific resources. One of the most important documents in here is the JCPS GT plan. I highly suggest bookmarking or starring this in your Google Drive. It lays out all of the areas of giftedness. It gives you multiple pieces of evidence that can be used for that area to qualify students as gifted, and it links to some of them. And then it gives you a plethora of service options for those students. So remember, for each area of giftedness, you have to have 3 pieces of evidence to identify them, and then once they're identified, they have to have at least 2 services for identification. Also in here, there's again a folder for each area of giftedness with identification and service resources. We have a gifted newsletter that we do monthly where we highlight a gifted educator and provide any upcoming professional development. Teacher resources, I noticed most of you in here were teacher resources, is some things that specific to teachers. So, and I'm going to go into identification tools is probably what we get the most questions about having access to. So we have different tools that can be used for different pieces of identification linked for you there. We talked about our living calendar a little bit. Not sure how this will look with us starting virtually, about dates and things like that and identification, but this is there. And then the last thing, which this is probably for teachers the most helpful, this Padlet is just kind of a bulletin board of resources that you can specifically use with your students to service them or develop their talent in their areas of giftedness. Probably the top two things on here I want to point out are these tech resources for gifted development. There's a ton of apps or websites linked there for different areas, creativity, communication, things like that, critical thinking that can be used with technology. And then all the way over here is choice boards. We have created a folder of choice boards that have already been created with different topics. And all of these are available to you in this folder linked to our Padlet. And they cover different topics, different content areas, as well as different grade levels. So I have a question. Oh, if you attended the PDs this morning and this afternoon, do you have to do 2 Google Forms? No, I would wait until you're done attending all your sessions to do the Google form, the survey at the end, just so that you only have to do it once. If you already did it, that's okay. Okay, any questions so far? Oh, yes, so I would not complete the feedback form until you are done with the Gifted Institute, like forever. So if you're coming back Tuesday and Wednesday, wait till Wednesday to do it. Perfect. Any questions so far about the resources? Okay, so I am going to give you all a chance to kind of peruse the resources through a scavenger hunt with just some basic questions about mainly focused on identification and service options. And so if you click in the slides, it will force you to make a copy so that we're not all typing on the same document. And it will open up a 10-question scavenger hunt. So and it tells you at the top like where to find these resources. And this is just going to give you some exposure to our resources and let you kind of peruse as well what we have available to you. And so what I'm going to do is, and all of the links to the different ones are on our slides. I'll put it in the chat one more time for everyone, the link to our slides that you can get to it. And so what I will do is I'm going to set a 20-minute timer to let you all do the scavenger hunt and then peruse. If you finish early and want to take a bathroom break or grab a drink or whatnot, that's totally fine with me. And then once the 20 minutes is up, we'll meet back and kind of discuss some of the best resources you found and also things that you were wanting to find but didn't. And so I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Here is the link to the slides again. Oh, someone asked if you need an app for Padlet. So no, you can access it online through just like a Google Chrome website. Yep. All right. I'm going to reshare my screen. So if you click to begin, you can begin your scavenger hunt, and I'm going to start our 20-minute timer, and I will meet you all back. That would be at 12:36. All right, we're going to come back together. I hope you all had time to kind of investigate some of the resources. If you will share first in the chat box, what is one resource that you found that will be helpful for you in your specific role. Because I know that can look different based on your role within JCPS. So what's one resource, that you saw that you think will be very helpful to you? So I'm seeing a lot of choice boards, not surprised by that one. I know when I was in the classroom as an elementary teacher, that was having ones that were already made as examples especially was really helpful. I'm glad to see so many people saying the living calendar. That's something we're starting this year, and I think will really help with the kind of, especially for our counselors and BACs for the workflow. So, and lots of jot downs too. Awesome. So, and then this will help us in developing new resources, and if you don't have something, that's okay. But if there's a resource, you'll share now, a resource that you did not see or find that you think would be helpful to have as a teacher of gifted students or as in an admin role, if you will share that now, that would be great so that we know as the gifted office what we can help you with moving forward. So anything that you didn't see or find that you would like to have. So I've had a couple of people ask about the creativity screener, so I'm just going to pull that up for you all real quick. That way everyone knows, because those are super helpful. So if you go to the Google site and then go to the creativity tab, they are right here, and there are 5 different ones. And if you click on each one, it opens the specific document for each of those screeners. So I know those were a big hit. Oh, sorry. Let me try that again. So if you go into the Google site, I'm going to do this one more time, and then go to the creativity page, and then right here where it says classroom screeners, these are identification tools that we use to screen for creativity. I had a lot of people in the comments saying that they really like those. Those are really fun to do as adults as well. Let's see. I see a limited number of choice boards for science. Thank you for that. That is something our office can work on developing, and especially with it starting virtually, I know that would be super helpful. And since we won't be physically in our schools, we might be able to assist that way. Anything else? Oh, we have a question about best practices for choice boards. So honestly, it kind of just depends on your set of students that you're creating them for, and kind of doing their best needs. Sometimes you can create them where they cover multiple skills. Some of them are focused on one skill. And there's like different ways that you can differentiate them. So you can differentiate them based on level, by interest, by like the task or project that they complete. So I don't think there's necessarily one best way to create choice boards, as long as you're creating them with your students' needs in mind. So, social studies choice boards too. Thank you all. Alrighty. Again, if you are just joining us for the 12 to 3 session, we have a feedback form that we only need you to fill out one time, and it's after you've attended any sessions that you're going to attend as far as the Gifted Institute. So if you're coming back tomorrow or Wednesday, I would wait till after those sessions. That way you don't have to fill it out more than once, because you can select all the sessions that you attended in one form. And it's just a few questions, and this feedback form is different from the one on PD Central. This one comes directly to us, and how to make this is our first ever Gifted Institute, so we want to know what went well and what we can make better next time, other than possibly maybe it being in person. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put those last minute questions into the chat box. But we kind of just wanted to give you all the opportunity to investigate and showcase some of our resources, because we get so many questions about these and they just aren't shared widely. So hopefully you all can take these back to your schools and share these resources that are available, because again, we don't want them just sitting and not being used, and we want you all to have access to them. Again, if you are attending this session, that means you are either walking in or signed up for Monday 12 to 3 afternoon session for the Gifted Institute. They're set up in 2 hours of PD. So if you attended this session, then you already have your one, and you just need to go to a session either at 1 o'clock or at 2 o'clock. You can choose between at 1 o'clock creativity strategies, or using acceleration and personalized learning to support gifted learners. And then at 2 o'clock, we have our keynote speaker, Colin Seal, who is an author. He just released a book called Thinking Like a Lawyer about critical thinking, and he is speaking on some equity topics. So definitely check him out. And if you don't have any more questions or comments, I'm going to give you all an extra 15 minutes to kind of chill or take a break before you join your next session. Feel free, if you have specific things you're looking for, or come up with something that you would like to see from the Gifted office, feel free to email me your suggestions. I am active on Twitter, as well as we have a kind of Twitter for our Gifted office, JCPS GT. And if you're tweeting about Gifted Institute at all or anything gifted, you can use the hashtag Gifted JCPS. I'm going to put the walk-in sign-in sheet one more time, just because I don't want anyone to attend sessions and not get credit. So if you did not sign up on PD Central, please click on this link I'm posting now and put your name in there so that you can get credit. If you signed up on PD Central, you are good.
Hey, Lindsay, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
I'm on PD Central, and I was just looking to see if the evaluation was up for the morning one, and it is, but it says attendance not marked for me not to be able to fill out the evaluation. Is that something that could possibly change, or should I just give it a couple days?
So the way we're taking attendance is like marking. We have like a extension in Google Chrome, and then what we're gonna have to do is take that list and compare it to who signed up. So the attendance is gonna take some time.
Okay.
For the PD Central office. So I would just check back. I would probably, honestly, they're probably not gonna get to that until after the whole institute is over.
Okay.
So I would check back after Wednesday. And of course, like if like in a week from now it still is showing that, let us know.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm glad everyone enjoyed the scavenger hunt. I know sitting through virtual PD can be tiresome, so I wanted to kind of switch it up and give you all some time to just investigate on your own. I will hang around for a few minutes if anyone has specific questions, even if they're not, even if you just have a general GT question, I'll hang around for another 10 minutes or so if anyone has specific questions. If not, enjoy your break and hopefully see you in another session.